My name's Tim Cole here with Matt Hardy, a true legend for sure. After we just had a show here in Martinsville, Virginia. Wrote a column about a week ago, I reckon it was what went wrong with the wrestling business. And this man knows firsthand, that emotional connection that wrestling used to have with a lot of the fans, they've lost it. They've lost it very much so.
I think the biggest thing that has changed in the business has just been everything being exposed so much. Obviously, people have a good idea and a good concept of how the business works. And until you've been in the ring and actually been beat up and physically abused your body, you can't totally and fully understand it. Although there's so much information that's accessible to everyone else, it's really easy to get an idea. And I think now it's just the business is going through a changing process again. I think the lack of competition in the business, it was great when you had two global companies with WCW and WWE going head-to-head. It kept them both sharp, it kept people on their toes. It was exciting for viewers too to see what show's going to be better, what's going on. TNA is definitely an alternative product. It's different, it's not far enough where it's so different from WWE that it seems like a completely different brand. It seems like kind of the same type branding, and they just aren't globally as entrenched as WWE is. So nothing's going to compete with WWE in the immediate future. But in my opinion, I always say that I think wrestling competition now isn't necessarily another wrestling program. I think the competition is shows like The Walking Dead or Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy. It's very good, sophisticated storytelling, and people understand that wrestling are guys telling a story. And I think it has to be a transition of just the storytelling and the writing as far as wrestling goes. It has to be more consistent. There has to be continuity always, and you can't insult the viewer's intelligence because the viewers are more educated now than they've ever been. So I really think wrestling has gone from being something where you can kind of get away with doing things because the viewers wouldn't necessarily know to now the viewers are so intelligent and educated, and there's so much information available to them. I think it has to become just more sophisticated storytelling.
And the internet, I think, is a big part of that. We can go on now and find out what's going to happen next week. And I think that's played a big part in it. But I noticed even tonight when you came out, you tag hands, a lot of people don't do that anymore. That connection, that's there with the fans. I remember, I mentioned in another interview one time before, when Dusty Rhodes talked about in the 80s about fighting for the common man. I'm a kid, and I'm going, he means me. Yeah. And we don't have that anymore. How do we get that back, or can we get that back, man?
It's one of those things. I think it's very fun for me to do a show like this because the Mid-Atlantic promotion is a great promotion. It is an old throwback to NWA. To come out here, this is for me as a babyface. It is cool to come out and slap hands and to be emotionally connected with fans. If I was for Ring of Honor, it's complete opposite for me. I'm the worst heel you could possibly be there because I'm a representative of WWE, and they crucify me for every mistake I've ever made in my entire life, whatever it may be. So for me it's fun too as a performer because in a classic Southern wrestling event I get to perform and act differently than I would at a Ring of Honor event, or if I did an Extreme Rising ECW type niche deal, I would work completely different as well. So for me it's exciting because I don't get bored, and I really get to think on my feet and whatnot. But I truly think that fans want to enjoy wrestling, they want to like wrestling, and they want to cheer and they want to boo. Once again, it's going to have to really grow and evolve into being more sophisticated, I think, where the viewers feel like, oh my God, I get this. I think when you're watching a wrestler, you have to be connected to him like someone is with Walter White, who was Heisenberg on Breaking Bad, because he started as the ultimate babyface, and he became a heel, and it was so believable, his turn and transformation through the show. And I think that's how wrestling characters have to evolve.
Right, that's right. Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
You got it.
And,